The Kythera had never needed to trust another species before. For 3 million years, they had been apex predators across 17 star systems, their razor-sharp claws and lightning reflexes making them legends among the galactic community. So when Zareth approached the human settlement on Kepler 442b, every instinct screamed against what she was about to do. Dr. Sarah Chen looked up from her botanical research as the 8-foot-tall, silver-furred alien emerged from the forest. The Kythera's yellow eyes, usually fierce and calculating, held something Sarah had never seen before: desperation. "Human," Zareth spoke through her universal translator, her voice a low growl. "I require assistance." Sarah set down her tablet carefully. First contact protocols raced through her mind, but something about the alien's posture, hunched, protective, made her respond with simple humanity instead of procedure. "What do you need?" Zareth's ears flattened against her skull. "My cubs. I must leave them. The colony wars. I am called to fight, but they are too young to survive alone." From behind the massive predator, 2 smaller figures peered out. Cubs, no larger than human children, with the same silver fur but oversized eyes that held innocent curiosity instead of predatory intelligence. "You want me to babysit?" Sarah asked, incredulous. "I have observed your kind for many cycles," Zareth said. "Humans are unusual. You care for young that are not your own. You form bonds with different species. My cubs will die if left alone, and all other Kythera are called to war." The colony administrator, Marcus Webb, had initially balked at the idea. "She's asking us to care for alien predators, Sarah. What if they grow up and decide we're dinner?" But Sarah had looked into those young alien eyes and seen something universal: the need for safety, for care, for love. "What if they don't?" she had replied. The cubs, Kes and Mira, integrated into the human settlement in ways no xenobiologist could have predicted. They learned human language faster than any translation software could work, their natural intelligence adapting to new concepts with startling speed. They helped with farming, their natural agility making them excellent at reaching high places, and their keen senses detecting crop diseases before any human scanner. But it was the emotional bonds that truly surprised everyone. When elderly colonist Henry Martinez had a heart attack, 5-year-old Kes had curled up beside him in the medical bay, purring, a sound no one knew Kythera could make. The vibrations, Dr. Chen discovered, actually helped regulate human heart rhythms. Mira showed artistic talent, creating intricate sculptures from local stone that somehow captured human emotions in alien forms. She would spend hours with the settlement's children, teaching them to climb and hunt small game while learning human games and stories in return. The colony adapted its routines around the cubs. Breakfast became a multicultural affair with human cereals alongside the fresh fish the cubs preferred. Evening storytelling sessions featured both human fairy tales and Kythera hunting legends that the cubs half remembered from their early days with their mother. 3 years passed. The cubs grew larger, stronger, but also more deeply integrated into human society. They had learned to moderate their strength around fragile humans, to control their predatory instincts, to find joy in cooperation rather than domination. Then Zareth returned. The adult Kythera, who emerged from the forest, bore scars from the colony wars. Her right ear was torn, and a long mark ran down her left flank. But her eyes, those same yellow eyes, now held something they had never held before: uncertainty. She had expected to find her cubs caged, perhaps well-fed but essentially imprisoned, by the humans who had agreed to care for them. What she found instead defied everything she understood about interspecies relationships. Kes and Mira ran to their mother, but their greeting was followed immediately by excited chatter in fluent human English about their friends, their projects, their integrated lives. They introduced Zarath to their human siblings, children, they had grown up alongside and whom they considered family. "Mom," Mira said, using the human word she had adopted, "this is Sarah mother and Marcus father and Henry grandfather and—" The list went on. An entire community that had not just cared for her cubs, but had made them part of something larger than just survival. Sarah watched Zarath's face as the adult Cathara processed what she was seeing. The cubs demonstrated. Human games showed off art projects created in collaboration with human children and spoke with obvious affection about their human family members. "They are changed," Zarath said finally. "They're still your children," Sarah replied, "but they're also ours now, if you'll let them be." That evening, the colony held a celebration feast. For the first time in Cathara history, an adult of their species sat at a table with other species not as conqueror or conquered, but as family. Zarath tasted human food, listened to human music, and watched her cubs seamlessly blend Cathara and human traditions in their play. When the time came to discuss the future, the conversation was unlike any that had occurred in galactic history. "I had planned to take them home," Zarath admitted. "But home is not what they know anymore. And perhaps that is not a loss." The solution they reached was unprecedented. Zarath would remain with the colony, serving as a bridge between species while her cubs continued to grow in the multicultural environment that had shaped them. She would teach the humans about Cathara culture while learning about the strange human concepts of adoption, community, and chosen family. Word of the arrangement spread through galactic channels. The Cathara Council, initially outraged at what they saw as contamination of their warrior culture, found themselves forced to reconsider when Zarath's reports showed cubs who had grown stronger, more adaptable, and more innovative than any raised in traditional Cathara isolation. Other species began to take notice. If humans could successfully integrate and raise the young of apex predators, what other bridges might be possible? The little colony on Kepler 442b became the first truly multi-species settlement, a proof of concept that beings from different worlds could not just coexist, but create something greater than the sum of their parts. And at the center of it all were two young Cathara who had learned that the greatest strength wasn't in claws or fangs, but in the connections that bound different hearts together across the vast darkness of space. Years later, when Kes and Mira had cubs of their own, they would tell them bedtime stories that blended Cathara legends with human fairy tales, creating new myths for a new kind of family, one chosen not by blood or species, but by love.